What is going on Facebook and YouTube? Thank you so much for joining tonight. Let's Face It live show with your coach, Shakima S. Perry. I'm so super excited about tonight's show. Thank you for tuning in. And when you guys tune in and jump in, please share this live broadcast. I want other people to be blessed and what we're going to be talking about tonight. So please share this live. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about the purpose of the show. Why do I do this show? Let's Face It. So Let's Face It was birthed out. Let me start now. But Let's Face It is a show that gives you strategies, gives you practical steps, practical things that you can implement in your life. So we bring up show topics, we bring up issues that can help you from your day to day. Nowadays, we need help. You know, a lot of times we walk around like we don't need any help. I don't need no help from nobody. You know how we are. Some of us stubborn as all outdoors. But we need help. You know, we have certain issues, certain things that we may have questions about. And this show gives you solutions to the questions that you may have in your mind or someone else you may know that is struggling, and they can actually benefit from the steps and the resolutions that we give. So that is the actual reason and the purpose of Let's Face It. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and jump into what we're going to be talking about tonight. We got a great topic. Tonight's topic is pretty good. I'm going to share something with you that I really never share publicly. Really, I guess, yeah, pretty much publicly. Like I have shared it with friends, but we're going to be talking about something that's, very sensitive. I know some of us went through this. So tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about is season 2, episode 52. Topic is how to love you again after a bad breakup. How to love you again after a bad breakup. I know some of us went through maybe the toughest moments of our lives when it comes to breaking up with someone that you love or breaking up with someone that you are close to in your heart. And, you have to kind of love you again, right? Because when you go through a bad breakup, hey, Liza, how you doing? She said, hi, everyone. How you doing, Liza? So when you go through a bad breakup, now it's, it does something inside of you because, it could be a situation the person cheated on you. It could be a situation that they dumped you or whatever the case may be. So that messes up your pride, your ego, or a whole bunch of stuff. So that kind of really rattles you, right? When it's a bad breakup. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So we're going to go ahead and jump into what we're going to talk about. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right. So, like I told you, is how to love you again after a bad breakup. So, what we're going to be talking about is how do you feel? How do you actually feel after a bad breakup? So, what are the things or the emotions that you feel after a bad breakup? It could be a breakup that you really love this person deeply and they messed you over, right? So, one of the things a couple of things I came up with is you feel hopeless, like hopelessness, like you feel hopeless, like, oh my God, I've been with this person for like 5 years. I've been with this person for so long. I feel hopeless. I feel like down. I feel like you could feel depressed, hopeless, right? So another thing, lonely, because you're so used to being with this person for so long. Now you have this lonely feeling inside, right? because of the fact they no longer there. You used to, hugging them on at night. And, I'm just saying, and people that's married supposed to be hugging your boo at night. I'm just being honest. It's not, but you're not married. I know some of you guys may not do it, and you may not be married and doing that. But I'm saying, I'm talking about the married couples. And the married couples, you may have had a bad breakup with a divorce or whatever, that you're used to being around this person. Maybe it's not about holding them at night, but more so you used to being around this person constantly, and now that person is missing. So now you start feeling lonely, like, oh my God, like I'm literally by myself, right? Another thing you would feel after a bad breakup is undesirable. You feel like, wow, like I'm not desired by this person no more. I'm not desired by a man or a woman or whatever, of course, opposite sex. If you feel undesirable, like, oh my God, like, do anybody want me? So you feel that way after a bad breakup. Let me see. Lila said, I was baffled and felt like I was in a land of nothingness. If you ever experienced this, if you ever experienced this, you know what I'm talking about. Absolutely. That's what it would feel like, because you're around this person for so long, and it really breaks your heart, and you feel undesirable. You feel hurt, you feel hurt feelings inside. You feel confused. You don't know what to do. Like, oh my God, maybe should I chase this person? Should I not chase this person? Should I get back with this person? So you're feeling all of these emotions, right? You also feel insecure. You feel super insecure because you're like, oh my God, I've been with this person so long. Maybe, it was me, or maybe I should have did this. So you start feeling super insecure about yourself after a bad breakup, right? So at that point, you have to you have to pick up the pieces and love you again, because you did so much. Some of you guys have done so much for this person. You gave everything. You gave your all, that you forgot about you. And that's what happens in some relationships, right? So those are the things I came up with, and I'm gonna go over each of them, but we're gonna take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, I'm going to give you a personal story of a bad breakup. I'm going to give you a personal story of what I went through. I would say, I'm not going to say it was a bad breakup like that, but it was a hurtful breakup. Like it broke my heart. I mean, I guess it was bad because it didn't turn out good, but I'm going to share my personal story. But I'm going to let you go ahead and check out this commercial. We'll be right back. Okay. Check it out.
This was me fighting for my life. I lost my mind, but I did not know how to get it back. I had to step it up and fight back with the only strength I knew I had. Find out how it all turned out. Get your signed copy today. Go to GleeBargainCenters.com.
All right. Oh, so we are back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you share this. Make sure you share this live. Okay. So I'm gonna give you my own personal story. I was in a situation, this is back in maybe 2014. I mean, this is way before. I never really shared this publicly with people, like on Facebook, things like that. But I went through a situation. I was dating a person, and, literally, I mean, we wasn't dating for a long period of time, but I fell in love with him pretty fast, right? Like, probably, I think we was probably dating for a few months or whatever. No, it was we was dating kind of on and off, maybe for like, I say 6 months, right? So we were dating or whatever, and I really fell for this person. And, everything was going well, that he kind of pulled back from talking to me, and I was still kind of wanting to connect. And then he was kind of going back and forth with me. Like, he wanted to connect, but he didn't. He wanted to connect, but he didn't. So it was like a kind of like he was playing with my heart. Like, it was like a pressure, like, oh, do you want to be with me? You're not going to be with me, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like this back and forth with me and him for a little bit, right? And then we got to a place that he said that, he doesn't want to be with me. And, and it was kind of like a pretty much a long distance relationship. And he kind of like just literally, what I can say, he cut me completely off. Like when he decided, okay, we're not going to do this. That's it. He cut me off of everything, social media, phone number, everything. Like he just completely cut me off like I was nothing. And he told me he loved me, right? So he told me he loved me. I told him I love him. And we were supposed to, make this work and be together, all these different things. And literally he acted like I was nothing. So that was literally my first heartbreak because I never knew, well, I'd never been in love before at the time. Like, I mean, I know I was in my 30s, but I never really been in love. So that was the first time I felt heartbreak. And when I felt that, it didn't feel good. Like it literally felt like, and some of you guys know how it feels to get your heart broken. It literally felt like my heart was literally breaking. Like I felt it. And I was like, oh my God, I never felt a heartbreak before. Like I never felt it on this level. Like I felt hurt before with a person, with a situation or guys I've been dating, but I never felt a heartbreak. And that's what I felt. And this heartbreak was so painful that I was literally probably for at least a couple of months, I was a zombie. Like I went to work, but I wasn't there. I went home. I went to sleep. I was depressed. I wrapped myself in a blanket. I had to call people. I had to call my close friends to pray for me because I couldn't pray for myself. I wasn't praying for days. I wasn't praying for maybe a few months. I wasn't even praying. Like that's how bad it was. Like that's how bad of a breakup it was. I was the type of person, I'm always constantly praying, always constantly seeking God. And I couldn't do it. Like it was that bad. And to that point is like, I had to get myself together. I had to get to a point to start loving me again because I felt like I was undesirable. I felt like I was never going to get married. I felt like I'm not going to find anybody. It was so many different emotions. And then I asked God, said, God, do you not want me to get married or whatever the case may be? It was so much emotion. And I never, ever got that down before to a point that I couldn't pray. Like I couldn't pray for myself. I tried and I couldn't. It was so hurtful. Like my heart was so broken. And at the time, I went to church. I still went to church. But I said to myself, I was like, Lord, I said, God, and I felt like the Lord allowed me to feel that heartbreak because he wanted me to feel what other people feel and other women will feel like so I can minister to them properly. And I said, God, I pray you get the glory out of this because this hurts. This hurts very, very bad. I mean, very, very bad. That's how bad it was. And thanks be to God, he has healed my heart. He has, replenished it. Like, thank God it maybe a few months, maybe 4 months. Then I started to feel like myself again and started to pray and started to really love me again, look at it differently, say, well, he wasn't meant for me. And, God has better for me. So I had to look at it totally different from that heartbreak because it was excruciating. Like, I don't know if you guys felt that. If you did, type in the comments, like, I felt that before. It's just, it was hard. Like, I mean, it was hard. Like, I can't even describe it, how hard it was. It was difficult. But thanks be to God, he healed me, restored me back. I'm in prayer, I'm back on track. But sometimes you need that, woman of God, because I know I call my close friend at the time. Well, she's still my close friend, Sister Janelle. She literally prayed me back to life because I was devastated. I was devastated. But thanks be to God, he restored me. He got me back on track. He was telling me how he wants me to be married. I'm going to be married one day. I'm going to have children one day, all these different things. So he literally spoke life into me to get me back on track. And I had to learn how to love me again because I was very insecure because of that. I was very low because of that. I was very, like, oh my God, like, this is never going to happen for me. So very in the place of doubt, and it was very hard. But thanks be to God, I'm here and I'm nowhere in that position. And I pray that I will never be in that position again, because it was very, very tough around that time. But anyway, that's my story. And I never shared this publicly, but you got a piece of it. And I'm going to go into what we spoke about. So hopelessness, right? So let me look up the word hopelessness. So hopelessness, to see pretty much you lost hope, but I'm just going to look up the topic here. Hopelessness. So hopelessness, say a feeling or state or state of despair, lack of hope. So you feel despair, kind of like pretty much depressed. You feel hope, like it's no hope. Like I felt like there's no hope in my future when it came to getting married. That's what I felt like. So hopelessness. So when you feel that, you have to start to believe again. So a lot of times hopeless is when you don't have any hope. Like it's less than faith. Like when you have faith in something, you believe in God and you having faith, you're walking by faith. But hopelessness is like you don't have no hope. It's like the faith gone, hope gone. But you have to see yourself outside of that situation, even though it feels like is no hope. When you're in a bad relationship or you have a bad breakup, is no hope. But you always have to look at it that this particular person that I dated or was with, he wasn't the one or she wasn't the one, when it comes to you being a man. Of course, when I say that, I'm saying that for opposite sex. I'm not saying that for same sex. Okay. Do not think I'm saying that. I'm saying if you're a man, you feel hopeless when it comes to that lady or you're going to get married because it didn't work out. And then you was in love, you thought because you fell in love, it was going to work, and a relationship is more than love. You know what I'm saying? It takes work and really effort on both parties. You can love somebody, but it takes work. It takes effort. It takes you taking the time out to really build that relationship. But if you don't do that, it's not going to work. So when you look at hopeless, don't feel that way. Know that it's hope for you, that you're going to find that particular person. And let's go to the next one, loneliness, right? So loneliness, when you feel like you're alone, you're not alone. God is with you. I had to get to a place when I was going through that God was with me the whole time, even though it felt like he would left. It felt like he wasn't there. God is with you. You're never alone. Know that when you're in a situation, you may get in a bad breakup or something happens with the relationship you're in, know that you're never alone. You never alone. God is always with you. He's always keeping you. He's always encouraging you and speaking to you. You just got to get in prayer and start to hear his voice and he will start to encourage you through and love you back to life. Undesirable. So with undesirable, you may feel like that with that particular person, but you are desirable. Why? Because someone else is going to be able to love you better. Someone else is going to be able to do the right thing by you because that person wasn't ready. That person that I dated, he wasn't the one. He didn't really love me. If you love someone, you're not going to cut them off. If you love someone, you ain't going to treat them a certain way, right? You're going to treat them like gold. You're going to treat them like a queen or king, right? So you are not undesirable. You are desirable because someone else is going to pick you up. Someone else is going to see you. They're going to see the jewel that you are. They're going to see the love that you have. And don't get bitter. That's what I'll tell you then. I was talking to someone today. Don't get bitter in your waiting. Don't get bitter. And the thing is, like, if it didn't work out with that last one, you start to get bitter. Because what's going to happen is when you meet the right one, that right one's not going to be able to see you. Why? Because you're negative. So when it comes to relationship, a person don't want a negative person. So you're going to have to really allow God to heal you through that. And you still be optimistic. Still be optimistic. Nehemiah said, yes. Thank you, Nehemiah. Thank you for joining tonight. So you have to be optimistic and knowing that somebody else is going to come along and is going to love you correctly. Is going to love you the way God loves you. I remember I was listening to Kiara Shear. So Kiara Shear, she has a show on YouTube and she was talking about, she just got married. She was talking about her husband and how God uses him to love her, like the way he loves her, the way like she had got engaged in the past and had bad relationships and stuff like that. But she said the way her husband loves her, he loves her like God loves her, in a sense of like through him is like the love of God. And I was like, that's powerful, because the person that you're supposed to be with should love you like God loves you, should care about you like God loves you. Not exactly the same, because God loves you on a deeper level, but it demonstrates God's love. The way he treats you, the way she treats you, it demonstrates, like when you see that person love you and do the things he does or she does, it's like you feel like God is doing it. That's how powerful it was. When she shared it, I said, that's powerful. That's good. That's good. I like that. So when you find that person that loves you like that, you better hold on and grab on tight. Don't let him go. But you are desirable, because that right person gonna come along and he's gonna desire you. He's gonna love you. He's gonna treat you like a queen. He's gonna, and then even with men and you guys out there, I know y'all looking for a wife. I know y'all thinking I'm your wife. I'm not your wife. Let me stop playing. No, but some men be thinking, but what I'm saying is that woman that's for you is going to love you, is going to desire you, they're going to have this heart for you. It's kind of like a burden, a heart, everything. Like God is going to place that in them for you. That's what's going to happen. That's how it's going to feel when that right person comes along. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take another commercial break. And when we get back, I'm going to finish up. I have a couple of more to go through. I hope y'all loving this tonight. So if you are loving this broadcast tonight, go ahead and type love in the comments. Check out this commercial and we'll be right back. Does your life look like this? Does it seem like everything you try or do, it just doesn't work? You need a faith recharge. I know what will give you a boost. Get my book, Unlimited Faith. You will never be the same. Learn faith principles that you can apply every day to elevate your thoughts and life on a level of abundance. Go to www.gleebargaincenters.com and get your signed copy today. All right, that's my new commercial. Y'all like my commercial? I haven't had a commercial in a while, so I was like, let me go ahead and change it up a little bit. Have a new commercial. I'm gonna do some more though. All right, so Nehemiah said love. Liza said love. Thank you so much, guys. All right, so we're gonna jump back into what we're talking about tonight. So another thing we're gonna talk about is hurt. So when you have a bad breakup, you're hurt. Like your feelings are hurt, your emotions are hurt. So you're all over the place with your emotions. So when it comes to hurt, a lot of times, and I'm gonna be honest with you, you can't heal your hurt. You really have to pray and ask God to help you. You really have to pray and ask God to heal your heart. Like I'm a type of person, and don't get me wrong, I don't like anybody to treat me like trash. I'm not gonna say that. But what I am going to say is when someone does, right, and people have, when it comes to relationships, I know in my heart of hearts that God is going to heal me from it. So a lot of times when it comes to being open to a new relationship, I don't carry that bitterness. And that's what I was talking about before. Don't hold bitterness in your heart and not give that next person that opportunity to love you, because you just have to trust God, and God will heal you from that broken heart, and be open to that other person. Be optimistic, be open. I take things, what's the word? Like some people take things with a grain of salt. I take them with a grain of salt means that you take it, if someone tells you something like, I believe you, but I don't, that's a grain of salt. I believe it until you prove it to me. That's how you look at life, with a grain of salt. I believe it if you prove it to me, right? I don't look at life with a grain of salt. Like I take what you say with a grain of salt. Like that's a little bit. Like maybe he's telling the truth, or maybe she's telling the truth. I don't look at life like that. The way I look at life, I take you for face value. And what face value is, like, whatever you tell me, I take it for your word that you're telling me the truth until I find something else. Not saying I'm looking for it, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt until I see something else or something shift. Because if you look at life that way, instead of the grain of salt, like, oh, I don't trust you, I got you, you got to prove to, you have to prove yourself and all that, you're gonna look at life in a negative scope. So because I look at life in face value, it helps me to, not saying that you don't shield your heart, but it helps me to look at the person as a clean slate. Look at the person as not, he's not my ex. But if you look at a grain of salt, you're looking at it, that's my ex because my ex was a liar. So I'm looking at him as a grain of salt. So you're not really giving him a shot. You kind of like, maybe I kind of believe him, but I don't. And as soon as he mess up or something small, you like, oh yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. You, that's not going to be healthy for you. Your relationship is not going to be healthy if you do that. Take it for face value. You're saying, okay, you said this. Okay, I got you. I believe you until you prove me something else. Until I see I'm not saying that I'm going into your pants, but until I see a telephone number on your phone, or I see you talking to another woman, or you know what I'm saying, I gotta take you for face value because I gotta give you a chance. If I don't, and I look at you like, oh, you gonna cheat, he gonna do the same thing my last, as you're carrying baggage. You never want to carry baggage into your next relationship. So you ask God when it comes to hurt, you ask God to heal you because he will. He has done it so many times for me. So many times. You just got to trust God. Sometimes it takes time. So don't jump from one relationship to another. Take that time for yourself to love yourself again. Take that time for yourself to really pamper yourself and treat yourself like a queen if that person didn't do that. And then when your king comes and he start treating you the same way you treating yourself, then you like, that is him. That's him. That's him. That is him. That's what God has for me because you treated yourself like a queen. So why not treat yourself like a queen and let that king, when he come, he gonna treat you like that on another level, huh? Great. I know. I'm praying. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Hey. Now I'm playing. But anyway, the next one, confused. So sometimes you could be confused because you don't know what happened. You don't know what went wrong. Maybe you could have did something. He could have did something. So you kind of confused. You're trying to figure it out. If that person left your life, don't try to figure it out. I know that's easier said than done. Don't try to figure that thing out. Give it to God. Say, God, you got it. The Bible says, cast your cares upon him because he cares for you. Don't even worry about it. Say, God, I'm confused about it. I don't know what happened. It felt like he was supposed to be my husband or this and this and that. If it's God, it's going to come back around. If it's not, then whatever. Keep it moving. And don't anticipate it either. So if you felt like, okay, this is God and maybe it just wasn't the right time, it may come back around, but don't wait for that dude. Don't wait for that woman, whatever. Keep moving and living your life. If it's meant to be, it'll come back around. That's it. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but over time you understand that you cannot hold on to it. You got to say, okay, God. It was men in my life. I mean, years ago, so many men. I'm not saying like that. I wasn't with a whole lot of men. Don't think that. But meaning I had a lot of people I have talked to or, been in a relationship with. And it's times I thought certain people were my husband. I have. And I prayed about it. I'm thinking it's God showing me as my husband. And it didn't work out, but I had to let it go. But if it was meant for it to come back around, I was like, okay, it comes back around. And if it didn't. So I'm like, okay, obviously it wasn't. It wasn't God. So don't allow confusion to take over. Think of it, say, you know what? I give it to you, Lord. You're going to work it out. If it's meant to be, let it be. If not, send me that right person and allow God to really heal your heart. And the last thing we're going to talk about is insecure. So when it comes to insecurity, I want to look up the word insecure. I probably did it before, but let's look up insecure. So insecure means, let me get the definition. So definition insecure means not firmly fixed, liable, to give way or break. And then it says not confident. So I'm going to talk about this one. Not confident or assured, uncertain, and anxious. So what happens is when you go through a bad breakup, you're not as confident as you was. You was confident in this relationship. You was confident that we're going to get married. So it does put an insecureness in your heart because you're like, wow, I was secure in this man. I was secure in this relationship and it didn't work. So it does build an insecurity and makes you feel like you're not confident, but ask God to help you to build that confidence because he will. It takes time. A lot of times when it comes to building yourself back up, loving you again, it just takes time. And that's pretty much what it is. A lot of it is time. And as you build yourself, as you start to love yourself again and treat yourself like a queen that you are, a king like that you are, you're going to see that next person, that right person that's supposed to be in your life that really going to treat you right. You're going to see him in a way like, wow, the way I treat myself is the way he treats me on a greater level. Vice versa with the man. The way she treats me is the way I treat myself on a greater level. So that's how you got to view it. And don't allow insecurity to stop you from, opening your heart again. Just say, God, help me with my insecurity. I want to be confident again in these like in another relationship, and give that person a shot. Give that person a chance. Don't say, it's over for me and it's not going to happen for me. Don't feel like that. No, it will. It may take time. It may take years. It may take 5 years. It may take a year. However, it's going to happen. Just know that you're going to live to see your best days when that time comes for your relationship. But in the meantime, love you. Okay? Love yourself. As you love yourself, that next person is going to love you back and they're going to love you even better. Okay? So love yourself first. Live your life. Don't stop your life because of a breakup. Don't stop your life because something bad happened. Okay? So live your life. And I'm going to end on this. It does not matter who comes and go in your life, right? It doesn't matter. You got to love you first, because when you do, you will not tolerate anyone in your life that do not see you as the jewel and diamond that you are. So love you. Okay? If y'all guys have any questions, put it in the comments for me. Put it in the comments. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. And I'm going to share a couple things with you. And I'm done. I did it early. Everything is early tonight. That's perfect. So let me I'm going to share some things with you and I'm going to jump off. So if you want to be a part of my show, go to purpose2promise@gmail.com. Email me. Let me know what you want to talk about. If it fits the show, I would love you to be one of my guests. This show is a blessing. I believe it's a blessing. People that come on, people inbox me and different things like that. So I want people that can bring a resolution, that can bring some type of positive encouragement to people on the show. So if you have a story, you have a product that is going to help someone else, go ahead and go to purpose2promise@gmail.com. Email me. Let me know what you want to talk about. And if it fits the show, I would love for you to be one of my guests. So Liza say, pray, eat better, moisturize, exercise, and love one another. Thank you. Thank you very much, Liza. That's actually she was actually one of my guests that was on the show too. So, and she is awesome. Thank you, Liza. And also, next thing I want to share with you, you saw those 2 commercials. So the first commercial was about my first book, which is The Mind Regulator. And then the second commercial was about Unlimited Faith. So get both books get both books, both of my books, Unlimited Faith and The Mind Regulator for only $24.99. Go to www.gleebargaincenters.com. These are powerful books. This book is my life story. This book is my life story. It's my life story. And this book is about faith. Really tapping into faith in the unlimited. It is a way to do it. You can have unlimited faith. You can walk around in life and not feel depressed all the time. You can walk around in life and feel triumphant 99% of the time. It's possible. I'm not saying that's why when I say 99%, meaning that you would have maybe 1%. You're going to have tough days. That's life. That's being a human being. But this book will teach you how to walk in the unlimited, that you constantly constantly walking in faith without doubt. This is what it teaches you. And it has a chapter in the book that talks about, it actually has testimony of other people and what they went through and how they overcome. You will definitely enjoy this book. I know Liza has this book. I think Nehemiah has his book, I believe. I'm not sure. Yeah, he did. I think he has his book as well. But anybody that purchases this book, these books, $24.99, definitely get it. Definitely get it. You'll love it. Okay. So check it out. Check it out. All right. Eliza laughing. All right. So pretty much I'm done tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to Let's Face It. Share this live broadcast. If you see the replay, share, because I want other people to be blessed. And I see I didn't have any questions. So if you have any questions, put in the comments later and I'll definitely get to them. And we're done. Thank you for tuning in. And what we gonna do? What? Let's face it. Y'all have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in.